Joining us right now, Josh Blackman. He is a law professor at the South Texas College of Law in Houston, Texas, and also knows his way around these things. He wrote about it today in Politico. Josh, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, was this the second coming of Richard Nixon, that night that he fired the Watergate special prosecutor and then kept firing people until he had his own way?
Well, I'm glad you phrased it like that. Nixon never fired anyone. Here's actually what happened. Nixon ordered his attorney general to fire Archibald Cox, who is a special prosecutor. Rather than comply with the order, the AG resigned. Then what happened? The number 2 guy went up, and Nixon said, I want you to fire the special prosecutor. The number 2 guy resigned. Then the number 3 guy, who was Robert Bork, the Solicitor General.
Bork, wait a minute.
Yeah, the same Bork, exactly. The same guy. You wonder why he didn't get through.
Right.
So then Bork actually fired the prosecutor because he thought the order was lawful. So Nixon never fired anyone. So these people trying to compare Nixon and Trump, it's completely historically illiterate. These are not comparable situations.
So what did Ms. Yates do, and what about her actions last night were not in keeping with the Department of Justice tradition?
The tradition historically has been, if you don't want to comply with an order, you tell the president this is illegal. Okay. If the president continues to disagree, then you resign. And once you resign, you can make whatever political stink you want. You can go on, TV. You can release a newspaper article, but you resign first. Yates did it backwards. She leaked a policy memo saying, "I think this is not wise, and then I'm not going to do it." Simply waiting to get fired by Donald Trump. So I think it's extremely problematic the way she used this to politically grandstand when the far more prudent course would have been to resign and then make a big fuss.
And Ms. Yates was a presidential appointee. She was appointed by President Barack Obama. She serves at the pleasure of the president. Is there any chance that she would have stayed on under Attorney General Jeff Sessions?
Zero chance. And the only reason why Yates even had a job yesterday was because the Democrats were blocking votes on Sessions. Eric Holder was confirmed, I think, within a day of the inauguration. So the fact that now we have the president trying to execute his policies and doesn't even have a Justice Department up behind his back, in no small part gave rise to this issue.
And so now, what do you expect there to be? Was this basically she was going out in a blaze of glory, and this way she can, maybe elevate her profile a bit, and somebody, she might get a better job at some law firm, or maybe even for the Democratic National Committee? Is that should I be cynical in thinking that?
I have no doubt she thought she was doing the right thing.
Come on, you're being way too kind.
I think her action was selfish, and I'll describe it this way: she wanted to draw attention to her situation to make people recognize that this was something that was bad.
Yeah.
And she feared that if she just simply resigned and then made a fuss about it, no one would pay attention. So she wanted to make a big fuss. The reason why I think her action was selfish is that this will backfire. Trump already hates lawyers, and he doesn't trust anyone. Now this will make him trust the Justice Department even less. I'm sure he thinks there are moles now. He's going to try and root them out. So now even if Justice Department lawyers are suspicious that there is illegal conduct going on, they may be afraid of saying something because they don't want Trump to, fire them immediately.
That's a great point. He's made it worse for employees of the Justice Department to sort of follow their conscience.
This is backfired big league, if I can use the phrase.
Yeah, of course you can. Speaking of big league, there's going to be a big league announcement tonight at 8 o'clock. We got Judge Thomas Hardiman and Judge Neil Gorsuch seem to be the two, reality show finalists here. There's going to be an audience. What are we witnessing tonight? It's a very strange way to go about nominating somebody for the Supreme Court.
My friend Ilya Shapiro, Cato, says, who gets the golden gavel, right? Who gets the rose?
Exactly.
It's going to be a production. It's going to be, I think Mark Burnett's producing it. I actually read on CNN that both Gorsuch and Hardiman are en route to D.C. lest someone sees Neil Gorsuch walking at Reagan Airport saying, he's here.
That's
They're both on their way. And no one has any idea what the theatrics will be.
It's like the Heisman Trophy ceremonies where all the finalists are there.
They'll all be there.
So I mean, if you had to predict, first of all, is the media right in suggesting that it's down to those two?
Well, Ramesh Ponnuru and also Benny Johnson in the last couple hours have said it's Gorsuch. I have no independent knowledge, but Ramesh and Benny are pretty well connected. And if it's Gorsuch, I'll be happy. If it's Hardiman, I'll be happy. The beauty of Trump's list is we don't have a surprise. This is not Harriet Miers, for those in your audience who remember that.
Oh, yes, we remember it well. This
is not a Harriet Miers where she came out of the blue. It's like, who? These are both judges, have been on the bench for 7 or 8 years. They have very well-established records. Some here, some there, better or worse. But on the whole, I think Federalists should be pleased with this decision.
Yeah, well, listen, Judge Neil Gorsuch, you said Ramesh Ponnuru over at National Review. He's the one saying, yep, it's Gorsuch, and it's going to be great, and he's happy about it. Meanwhile, The Hill is recommending that Hardiman be the choice. So, I don't know, between the two, I think I would rather go with the National Review's prediction than The Hill.
Ramesh is pretty well connected with these sorts of things.
All right, Josh Blackman, great job. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Larry.
That's Josh M. Blackman on Twitter, for those of you who dwell in the Twitter sphere. Either way, whoever gets chosen, we'll be talking about it all day tomorrow on WMAL.